I began taking pictures in 1965. That's right. Yes, when the family was out visiting in San Francisco. Dad was always the family photographer, and he was getting tired of that job. And so basically, he handed his Kodak Retina reflex to me and said, "Why don't you take the pictures on our trip?" And that's how it started. And like the other things in my life, I'm very lucky to have had in, parents who encouraged me to pursue my interests. I published a little neighborhood newspaper called the Daily Dunlap, which was anything but daily, but it did record the news from our near North Side neighborhood. And then I just started taking pictures and taught myself. Although I would say my influences, if I may be so bold as to describe them as such, would have been the works of I loved the works of Harry Callahan, of Aaron Siskind, and Walker Evans. I was, very much influenced by both their, Evans's amazing ability to create evocative tableau from what looked deceptively like a simple architectural photograph. Callahan, similarly, Siskind finding a marvelous abstraction in everyday objects. Also, the work of Ezra Stoller and Arthur Siegel, architectural photographers. I emulated and finally found cameras and lenses that allowed me, without the bother of a huge focal plane kind of camera, bellows camera, to do parallel lines. You've probably noticed about my photographs that when I take a picture of a building, the vertical lines and the horizontal lines are parallel. I put high premium on that. That's how Skidmore, Owings and Merrill, the photographs that I saw of my father's projects, were always so straightforward. So I start with that as my compositional base, trying to do this simple but revelatory photograph. I did no photography for the New York Times, but I pursued it very much on the side. And in 1978, I was asked to take the photographs for Paul Goldberger's Guide to New York City. In 1990, I had published a book I wrote and illustrated called Broadway, A Journey Uptown Over Time. In 2004, Abyssinian Design, a book published by Columbia University Press that featured all of the houses of worship in Manhattan. So I loved photography and pursued it, but I rarely, if ever, did it for the Times.